What's up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. Brian and I are going to have a great show for you this Friday. Get y'all set up for the betting weekend. Brian, my man, looking sharp as always. How we doing?
Thank you, brother. You as well. We got some big games this weekend. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, we do. All right, everybody, welcome in A to Z Sports Picks. I'm Alan Bell of CBS Sportsline alongside Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. A to Z Sports Picks is brought to you every Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM right now. Use promo code A to Z Sports. That's ATOZ Sports to get a risk-free bet of up to $1,000 on pro football, any pro football game that you want. That's BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For gambling problem support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. So, Brian, you know what? We're going to waste zero time. Tennessee, Georgia, game of the week. Might be the game of the year. Georgia, an 8.5-point favorite here at home. Hit me with it, bro. What you got?
Vols all day, man. I think the Vols are going to win outright. Will Levis comes into Knoxville. They hold him to 98 passing yards. They intercept him 3 times. They sack him 4 times. The defense now is starting to seemingly coming around when Tennessee's had the best offense in the country all year. And, they get McCullough back last week after he had been suspended a couple of games. A veteran 3-year starter at safety, had 4 tackles, a pass breakup. They let Cedric Tillman shake the rust off. I know he only had 4 catches for 22 yards, but he had a couple catches nullified due to penalties. It was on a limited snap count, but he got that first game out of the way and should be closer to 100% this week. And everybody knows what a great season Hendon Hooker's having. I won't bore everybody with all the stats, but 21-1 TDI&T ratio, 4 rushing touchdowns, which brings his career numbers to 74-11 TDI&T ratio, along with 24 rushing touchdowns. He's just had one of the more underappreciated collegiate careers in recent memory until the last month or so. And now this is his Heisman moment to shine, and I think he's going to come through. Georgia will have a really good plan, and I'm sure Tennessee will be held to, less points than they've been scoring against everybody else. But I think the Vols are going to get it done, man. Obviously, I'm going to have more on them plus the 8. I actually got it at 9 first thing Sunday. Um, and and again, I got a little bit of the money line, and I also packaged them in a money line parlay with LSU, which when I did it early in the week, I actually got a 16-1 payout on one of my accounts. The other ones weren't offering that much, but I still think right now with the current money line prices, I still think you can get anywhere from 12 to 14-1 odds on a money line parlay with LSU and Tennessee to win outright. Small change, small risk, big reward. LSU is obviously going to be one of my picks, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. Back to you.
Yeah, man. Look. All right. Looking at the spread, I agree. Bet Tennessee because there's really 2 ways to go about this game. For Georgia, do the standard. Hey, we're going to keep the ball away from Tennessee, which really hasn't worked. To be completely honest with you, Billy Napier is the only coach that kind of had like the game plan, right? Like you go about it kind of how the Jaguars do now with Doug Peterson. Screw it. Like we're going to go for 4th downs. We've got a quarterback who can move. Like I think that's kind of the key. So Georgia can try that, which that generally means a low-scoring game. Give me the 8. Or you can get into a shootout, which people are not giving Georgia enough credit. They could score. Like this team is good.
Oh yeah,
very, very, very good offensively. It's ran through the big tight ends, blocking well, schematically very well. These 2 teams, quite frankly, are built the same in this sense that it all centers around a safe quarterback protecting him and giving them time. They're both veterans in terms of their age, been around. Give them time to operate and go. I think defensive play is going to be a significant factor here. Georgia could get after Hendon Hooker a little bit, right? But long story short, I'm with you. Like 8, yeah, take it. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Not an official pick or anything, but while we're like breaking this game down, and I'll go first if you want me to. The total, 65, okay? Now, I've heard all week, cappers and all kinds of people that I super respect break the game down, and I haven't really heard anything stupid. But there are a lot of different game scripts of how this thing could go. I've seen people take the under and break down why, and it makes sense to me to where Georgia theoretically could say, you know what, we're going to win a 30-27 type game, right? Like, we're going to limit you. Good luck. That makes sense to me. I've also seen to where Georgia's won 5 straight over Tennessee by 23 points or more. Now, these two completely different teams, especially Tennessee's side. That being said, I could see both teams scoring. Like, I could see this thing going into a shootout and Georgia holding their own, right? Like, 35-32, something. Like, I could see the over coming in as well. I think if I had to make one play on the total, I think I'd play the over. Also, let me tell you my favorite bet, and I've already placed it. Tennessee first half team total over 13.5. That's my favorite play in this game.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Tennessee first half team total over 13.5. Does Tennessee
I like that too. I like that also.
Does Tennessee get? I mean, they last year against that historically great Georgia defense, Tennessee led the first quarter 10-7, right? Like, I think Tennessee's modus operandi in the first quarter, first half of these games is they're not going to change anything of what they do, right? 2 touchdowns. Yeah. I mean, they could be losing, could be 21-14. I don't know. Could be 14-0. I mean, this thing could go in a million different ways, but I think that Tennessee scores 14 points in the first half. So yeah, I'm going to roll that. All right. Your thoughts there, man, on the total.
Well, 5 of Tennessee's 8 games have gone over this number, this total that we have. What 65 right now? 66?
Yep. 65.
65. So 5 of Tennessee's 8 games have gone over that. But Georgia's highest scoring game of the season was last week against Florida, 62. So all 8 games for Georgia have gone under. With that, that's just me pointing that out. I have no opinion on the total, although I really do like your team total over 13.5 in the first half with the Vols. But I'm leaving. I mean, I'll if I can get that, I'll play the team total over first half for a little bit. But I'm sinking my eggs into the Vols +9 basket. I know that 9's not available now, but that's what I got early in the week.
All right, here's another question for you. Then we'll move on to all college football. Take a guess. Let's play a little game here real quick.
Oh, sure.
Take a guess at what you think Tennessee's team total is in the first quarter.
7.5 with some wacky juice on it.
6.5. So, I mean, your thought process is correct.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say 7.5, where they're gonna
with crazy juice, like it. That's it.
Yeah.
6.5.
So, how much do you have to pay on the over at 6.5?
115.
Oh, only 150. I was thinking it'd be more like minus 130 or something. Oh,
yeah. So
I'm not against that over as well.
Yeah, as I was gonna say. Here's the question: does Tennessee score a touchdown in the first quarter?
I say yes.
I do too. Like, I know. So, if I were a book, there's no way. Like, you're gonna give me 6.5 and 13.5?
Yeah, you heard what I said. If I'm the book, it's gonna be 7.5 for sure.
I'm gonna make you go 7.5, 14.5. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna give you the push insurance. So yeah, if you see 6.5, 13.5, like, I think I'd play that. All right, college football. Throw it to you, man. What do you got?
All right, man.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Hold on that, because I want to talk real quick. Omaha Steaks. I threw that on you, Brian. That's my fault. Fall is in the air.
You're good.
And that means fall grilling with cookouts, tailgate parties, and so much more. Luckily, the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to savor all the flavors of fall with their mouth-watering assortments of perfectly good aged steaks, ultra-juicy burgers, and easy-to-prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Now is the perfect time to load up, Brian, on all this incredible flavor. Take advantage of 50% off site-wide by shopping their friends and family sale. Go to omahasteaks.com and use my promo code A to Z, that's ATOZ, at checkout to get $30 off your order. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com and stock up today. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak. It's the best steak of your life, guaranteed, Brian. And don't forget to score that extra $30 off your order when you use A to Z at checkout. Omaha Steaks is perfect for those chilly and busy fall nights. You won't come close to getting this kind of quality at the grocery store. Visit omahasteaks.com, promo code A to Z at checkout. Minimum order may be required. Now, that's a perfect steak. I need some perfect picks. All right? College football, what do you got this weekend, buddy? Break it down.
All right, let's go LSU plus 14. Let's buy that half point from 13.5 to the key number. So LSU at home this year is 4-1, both straight up and against the spread. The only loss, obviously, being that one to the Vols. And in LSU's last 6 as a home underdog, they're 4-1-1 against the spread with 4 outright wins, and that only non-cover against the Vols. They've played their best football the last 2 games since Tennessee whooped up on
They're
them.
getting better by the week. Like, agreed. Yeah.
And coaching, that's what happens. Teams that are well coached get better as they go. And so they win 45-35 at Florida. They beat an unbeaten team at the time, and Ole Miss 45-20 in those 2 games. Jaden Daniels had 5 touchdown passes without an interception and 6 rushing touchdowns. Alabama has not struggled much over the last decade or so and change. But when they have struggled, it's normally with a quarterback that's elusive in the pocket, that keeps plays alive, can actually, scramble for first downs on 3rd and 9, things of this nature. Jaden Daniels fits that description to a T. But more than anything, to me, it's that Alabama, since the start of last season, which coincides with Bill O'Brien as offensive coordinator, who I think has done an awful job, especially this year. They are 2-5 against the spread in 7 road games, 2 outright losses at Tennessee and then at A&M last year. However, they could easily be 2-5 both straight up and against the spread in their last 7 road games. The Texas game, if Ewers doesn't get hurt, if Texas doesn't miss that chip shot field goal, if Texas makes one of 3 or 4 other plays they could have made to win that game. The Auburn game last year, if Tank Bigsby stays in bounds, if they pinned him inside the 5 with less than 2 minutes left, and Alabama had no timeouts, and they had Alabama converted at least 1 fourth down on that drive, maybe 2. And that's what forced the overtime. So Auburn had many plays they could have made. It would just make one of them, and they win the Iron Bowl last year. And then the Florida game, Florida misses an extra point and therefore has to go for 2 and misses that and loses by 2. And there were 3 just absolutely horrible calls that went against Florida in the first quarter. So they were very close to losing those 3, plus the Tennessee and plus A&M. So it's clear they're struggling on the road the last 2 years. And this is a big number. LSU's playing its best football. Every year when Alabama goes to LSU, and they haven't lost there in 12 years, they've got an enormous coaching advantage. They don't have an enormous coaching advantage if they have any advantage. And with Bill O'Brien calling the plays offensively, I think the coaching is a wash. Maybe even advantage LSU. So I like LSU.
All right. There we go. Now, I've got 2 plays, and I have 2 questions for you, okay? I'm going to keep it simple. Give me TCU minus 8.5 at home against Texas Tech.
It's down to 8 at quite a few spots now.
There we go.
I'm on that too.
And give me Michigan minus 26 on the road at Rutgers. And I'll tell you why. We are now in the college football playoff rankings portion of the season, and there are 2 teams that felt completely disrespected by their rankings, TCU and Michigan. So what is the only thing that you can do to appease the college football playoff committee? You beat somebody by 1,000 points. Style points matter, blowouts matter, points matter, all of it. There's no more, we're playing Rutgers, like let's take foot off the gas pedal. No, there's no gas, there's no brakes. Like it's all gas pedal now. So these 2 teams are absolutely motivated with a reason to beat the hell out of Texas Tech and Rutgers. I'll ride that. I'll gladly ride that. All right, now, here are my 2 questions for you. First, we have a service academy game this week. Army, Air Force, okay? In the last 80 games or so between 2 service academies, the under is like 82%. So it's sitting 40.5. Now, Air Force could score, right? They could put up points, but it's 40.5. If you had to make a call, where do you go?
Yeah, Tennessee Lee on the podcast I was on last night, he he didn't go as far back as you're talking about, but I think he said it was 42-8 or something like
It's
in the
some
last.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So I mean, under. I mean, well, and it makes sense. I mean, they have ball control drives, they
They
eat
just
clock,
run
and
constantly.
they have like 15 play drives, and sometimes end on a fourth down, getting stopped and get no points and eat 7 minutes. I mean, that stuff happens with Army and Air Force and Navy all the time. So I would say under.
Yep. Okay, now, what are you doing with Clemson and Notre Dame? Okay. Clemson, 3.5 point favorite. It's on the road at Notre Dame. Total of 44.5. Now, understand this. Notre Dame is 3-0 against the spread this season against AP ranked teams. They're also 0-4 against the spread at home this year. It's go time for Clemson. They know exactly what time it is. What are your thoughts there?
Man, this is a very, very tough game for me. I mean, DJ struggled last game. I thought Syracuse got hosed by the officials. I thought Clemson got some gift calls that basically gave them the win. Um, and but I Notre Dame is so pedestrian offensively. I mean, they can run it pretty good, got a good O line, but other than the tight end, they don't really have anything at receive.
No.
They're not, and their quarterback is not very good. I don't even know if he should be starting at any Power Five school. He's just not very good. So I would lean Clemson, but I've got a lot of issues with this Clemson team. I mean, look, they play in the ACC. They're probably going to win the ACC, and they have a good chance if they win this game, very good chance to get to the college football playoff. But I think Clemson's going to get smoked if they get to the college football playoff. I don't like their team's not nearly as talented as their old teams. But with
No.
all that said,
No. Yeah.
I still probably would take Clemson, but I'm obviously not betting on this game.
Me neither. And I agree with you. Like it's either Clemson or nothing. I think like just so hard to bet on Notre Dame. Like I know that they
Yeah.
did what they did against Syracuse. Look, I agree with you. I do not believe in Clemson at all. But
And I thought they were going to have the best defense in the country. I mean, they have a good defense, but I haven't been impressed with their defense either.
nah, they're just they're
I mean,
just not.
Hartman just lit those boys up. 6 touchdown passes without an interception.
If they played the SEC, they'd have 3 losses.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
this Clemson team is not good, but
Yep.
Notre Dame's not good either. Like
No.
I'm with you on that. All right, let's move over to the NFL. All right,
Let me just throw out what I do like North
Yeah,
Carolina
go.
-7. I won't. Virginia's offense, I'll give one stat. They've scored more than 17 once in their 7 games against FBS opponents, and that was 20 against Syracuse. I know UNC has issues defensively, but not as many issues as Virginia has offensively. And you know Drake May, 29-3 TDI&T ratio. You know Carolina's going to score. So I like Carolina -7. I'm not against South Carolina -7 just because I'd play any SEC team at Vandy single digits. And I also kind of like that over 48 on South Carolina Vandy. And now we can do some NFL.
nice. I like it. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll go first. The NFL, and let's keep the conversation going. A to Z Sports on Twitter, YouTube, anywhere you name it. Because obviously we're gonna have more picks and props and everything that comes out over the weekend after we get, all the injury reports, etc. But right now, and look, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm betting the Chiefs -12.5. The Titans. This is a horrible matchup for them. Titans are a good football team, but there's one thing that when the Titans go up against, it's a nightmare situation, and it's scoring points. The Titans just can't play that game. And I don't think that they can play it healthy this year. Might get better at it, but there's just not enough offensive production. For me, it really comes down to how much do the Chiefs care. At the end of the game, Sunday Night Football at Arrowhead, gross. Like, get Ryan Tannehill. We don't even know about him. If Malik Willis is there, this line should be 20. They didn't even let him throw. I mean, it's a nightmare situation for Tennessee. I'll just take the Chiefs -12.5 before it gets to 13. I like the Chargers Falcons over 49.5. I think the Falcons are going to have massive success on the ground against Los Angeles. I think
But the Chargers are going to throw it all over the field on that banged up secondary.
Yeah, this is a perfect matchup between defenses that really can't stop what the other offense excels at. Both offenses are going to have big games. I'll take the over 49.5 there. give me, I'll tell you what, give me the under 40.5 Patriots Colts. The Colts might not score 10 points. And the Patriots might score 20 points. Like, it's not like their offense is that great. But now
No.
that you've got Sam Ellinger for Indy, there's no Jonathan Taylor. He's ruled out. Naheem Hines is on the Bills. Like, I don't know what the Colts are going to do. Like, I can – this is a classic Belichick type game to where he's like, I don't have to score 30 to beat you. I've got to score 13, right? I'm just going to stop you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll take the under 40.5 in that one. I don't want anything to do with Bills and Jets. The Rams +3 in Tampa. You can go ahead and feed me that one. Like, everybody on the planet is betting Tampa Bay because they're at home and the Rams are coming off a loss. And I get it. I'm not saying that the Rams are that great of a football team. But Tampa, like, you're not going to run all over them. Like, and Los Angeles is pretty, like, keen on bouncing back. Yeah, you can give me the Rams +3 on that. And that's all I got, man. How about you?
All right, I'm going to go Chargers -3. My Falcons secondary is just all banged up, so I think Herbert's going to have a big game. The Chargers are 2-1 straight up and 3-0 against the spread on the road. And I'm not against that over that you had as well. I would buy the half point from 49.5 to the key number of 49, though. I'm going to go with Buffalo -6.5 or 7 in the first half against the Jets. The Jets are 1-3, both straight up and against the spread in 4 home games. But I just don't want to lay double digits, but I think we can hit Buffalo in the first half, kind of like I did last week on Sunday night. And I'm glad I did that because, Packers got that backdoor cover. Man, there's a lot of injuries that I don't know about yet. I'll say that.
Pause right there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's exactly why I brought that up before we jump into the segment, that there are so many injuries around the league. So, like, be careful. The plays that I had just mentioned, that you'd mentioned, like, those are ones we feel good about for sure. But give yourself some time here. Like, you're not going to see a bunch of line movement in all the games. Like, if you see something big come out, yeah, like Ryan Tannehill is ruled out. Like, that line's going to go crazy, right? But give yourself time here. Like, you don't have to place everything today. So I just wanted to say that one more time because this is a dangerous week with a lot of injuries. So continue, please.
Yeah, and I'm a little worried about the weather in Chicago, but
That's another thing. Pause again. I'm sorry. That's another thing.
Yeah.
There is wind everywhere this weekend in the NFL. I know it sounds stupid, but that is an absolute great point. Be absolutely careful, both in college and the NFL, especially if you're in an area. Give yourself a minute. Check the weather. It might not be a ton of rain and storms, but there's going to be wind, like a significant amount of wind. It sounds weird, but there will be. Do yourself a favor, Brian. Excellent freaking point on that.
Ain't nothing weird about it, man. Up north in November, December, you always got to check the weather, especially if you're talking about totals. But, I mean, I'm somewhat interested in maybe the Dolphins, but I want to wait till we get closer to Sunday. I want to know about the wind and how cold it is, because the Dolphins, and they're traveling.
Let's break that one down. Let's break it down. All right, so Dolphins are a 4.5-point favorite on the road at Chicago. Yeah, check the wind there. Total of 45.5 here. Okay, so I'll just give you this. So we've done our projections here at Sportsline. Okay, we've got a final score prediction 28-21 Miami. Now that's just our computer simulations, and we haven't factored in any type of weather just yet. So I mean, these things move constantly. But I'm with you. It's a weird game because, and I'm asking you this. I'd love your thoughts. We see Justin Fields look good multiple times now, right? Like, look good. That said, Miami's defense is pretty damn good. Miami's offense pretty damn good.
Bears just traded Roquan, traded Robert Quinn.
Yeah, like, that's the problem. So, yeah, go ahead, man. Break that down.
Well, I was just going to say I'm potentially interested in Miami, but I would probably need it to be 4. What I would rather Chicago get out to a 7-0 lead and get a live bet where I can get the Miami at 2.5 or less than a field goal. That's what I would really like. But I don't know. I just want to get all the injury intel. I just don't think, unless it's like But if it's terrible wind, that's huge advantage Chicago. The colder it is, huge advantage Chicago.
Huge.
I mean, these boys live in South Florida. It's still
And
90
pass a
degrees.
lot.
It's still 90 degrees in the afternoon in Miami. So, but yeah.
All right, let's play a game with this one. All right. Team totals. You tell me where you'd go with either. Okay. Bears, 20.5.
Under.
Dolphins, 24.5.
Over.
All right.
So that means I obviously like the Dolphins, clearly.
It's tough, dude. Like, and what we've seen is that, we always talk about, like, football, game of inches, et cetera, all that. This year in college and the NFL, like, one play, one flag, like, can literally change the outcome of a game. So
Texas could be 8-0 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, let me throw out a stat on that for Sark. Since he got to Texas, 1-6 both straight up and against the spread in 7 road games. And K-State's 19-6 against the spread, last 25 as a home dog. All that said, I was leaning K-State, but I've got too many people I respect absolutely love Texas, so I'm probably staying away.
Yeah, I feel you on that, man.
But I'm sorry, back to the NFL.
No. It's good, dude. Like, I mean, that's what this show's for, dude. Let's break it down. Okay, let me ask you one more question, then we'll jump over to anything. Do we have UFC this weekend?
You know what? I was looking at the script,
even if we do, it's not anything
look.
big. I got you. No. I was just asking, like, just in thoughts. What are you gonna do Monday Night Football? All right, we've got the Ravens at the Saints. Ravens 2.5-point favorite, total of 48. All right, the Saints beat the hell out of the Raiders, although there was some illness thing going around with Las Vegas, even though I don't believe in them, and I think their coach is an idiot. I do not like Josh McDaniels at all.
They should have stuck with that interim coach who did a good job last year.
Basakia, whatever you pronounce it. Yeah. So, okay, but the Ravens, John Harbaugh can go idiot as well, especially with Justin Tucker. So Ravens 2.5-point favorite, total of 48 in New Orleans. Like, here, I'm going to say this, and I'll give it to you. Besides those 2 pick sixes, right, at the end of the half for Andy Dalton, other than that, he's actually played pretty well. Like, he's put up points. The defense has gotten better. Like, he's played better than I thought that he would. But your thoughts?
Man, New Orleans offense finally, showed a little bit of life last week, and Baltimore's number 28 against the pass. Do we know about Landry? Or I know Michael Thomas is out, right? Are they maybe getting Jarvis Landry back? Let's see.
I'm not sure.
It's still listed as questionable. And Lattimore, their best cover corner, still listed as questionable. So I kind of want to, I want to find out about some injuries on this one, and it's not till Monday, so I really don't have any opinion right now.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I feel like this game is going to be a blowout either way. Man,
what do you? Or I'm sorry, finish that thought, and then
no. That was pretty much done. Like,
all right. What do you think? Green Bay rights the ship and finally, plays well, or
here's the problem. All right, you asked a great question. Okay, Packers 3.5-point favorite, total of 50. All right. I was just thinking about this game before we went on the show. Yes, Green Bay should be able to have success against Detroit. That being said, it takes so damn long for this Packers offense to go because it's 3 yards and in. However, when we saw Aaron Rodgers actually open it up a little bit, he was hitting them. So I don't know what.
Well, if there's any defense to open up the offense against, it's Detroit.
It's this. That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know what the goal is in Green Bay. Like, yes, you don't have Devontae Adams. I get it. I'm seeing other wide receivers in the NFL that can run routes. Like, Green Bay acts like they just cannot run routes. Like, what? Like, I do not understand the plan. I think they're going to be able to run. I think they're going to be able to pass. I'll tell you what. Give me the over 50.
That's
because
what I was about to
Detroit,
say. Because Detroit's home games have been flying over, like
and
the
they can
Philadelphia
score on
game.
that defense too. That defense is a sieve. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, the over. And I see some 49 and a halves. And so maybe by the half point to 49 because it's a multiple of seven. But so the Philadelphia game, Detroit at home, obviously, was 73. The Seattle game at Detroit was 93 combined. And then last week, and they hardly scored at all in the second half, and it was 58 combined. What was the score at halftime of Miami, Detroit? Detroit, it was 27-17, wasn't it, at half,
something
I
like
think?
that. Yeah, something like that.
So I'm thinking the over on that one, just because indoors and Detroit's three home games have had 58, 93, and 73.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I feel you. All right.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
asked about
Yeah.
UFC. I don't have
Yeah.
any picks, but there is a card. Marina Rodriguez against Amanda Lemos in the main event. The co-main, Daniel Rodriguez against Neil Magny. I don't have anything there. But I'll have some NBA picks on Twitter if anybody wants to check my Twitter in a little while.
Nice. All right. Perfect. All right. To end the show, really, all I've got the rest of the weekend. Do you have anything NBA? Like anything that's
Man, I have
special?
not been able to look at the injuries yet, so I don't, man.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. The last thing that I have, and we'll end the show on this: the World Series. We got Game 6 Saturday at 7:03 p.m. Central. It moves back to Houston. Houston leads the series 3-2 off of last night's big win for the Astros. Astros are minus 145 money line favorite. Total of 7. Yeah, go ahead and bet Houston. Like I really felt whoever won game 5 was probably going to win game 6. Like Philly getting no hit and then losing like they did last night. And let me say this, Justin Verlander, he's Justin Verlander. He's a beast. The Astros number 2, Framber Valdez, is better than Justin Verlander. He is a beast. Now, the Phillies are going to have Zach Wheeler on the mound. And look, I get it. These are two great teams. I'm not saying that Philly, I'm not counting them out, like so to say, but I pretty much am. Like it's good luck. Like you kind of screwed up the last 2 games. Your big guys just stopped hitting, man, and the
I,
Astros can hit. Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking Matt was such a dumbass not to hedge when they were down 2-1. Now he's looking like a genius.
He always is, dude. Our man is always catching like $15 million bets and stuff.
Yeah, he won 75 million on this, which
That's
would be the
insane.
biggest payout in sports betting history.
Well, I was gonna say, bro, as soon as we end this show, I'm gonna drive over to your house and we're getting in the mattress business because
Right,
apparently
right,
it's pretty
right.
damn good. Look,
Yes.
man, again, like I'm not trying to denigrate the Phillies. They're an unbelievable team. I bet on them to win the series. Zach Wheeler's
What
a
was
hell
the
of
series price?
175. Like I did it like right before. You know what I mean? This wasn't like an early,
Right,
futures
right,
thing.
right.
Zach Wheeler's a hell of a pitcher, but he's 0-1 with a 7.2 ERA already in the World Series. And Framber Valdez, dude, 1-0 already with a 1.4 ERA. I'm telling you, this dude is disgusting. Yeah, man. I
When's
would
that
bet.
game? Tomorrow night?
Yeah. Tomorrow night, 7:03 Central. I would bet Houston. I would bet Houston's team total over 3.5. Yeah, like Houston is the best team in baseball. They have been, and when you give them a reason to put you down, like they're not a Dodgers beat you 12-0 type team. They're going to get their 4 to 6 runs as they always do, and just put you out. So yeah, man, that's what I got. Take the Astros. Any final thoughts do you have for you the show?
Well, look, I just NBA wise. Now, again, I haven't had a chance to look at injuries, but look to fade Brooklyn. There are 2-6 straight up,
Yeah,
1-7 against the spread, and maybe the Lakers got a little something going. They've won back to back and covered. I thought they got pretty fortunate with the New Orleans game. So I'm not saying. I think I was saying last week fade the Lakers.
what do we do
Maybe
with Golden State tonight? Do we fade them with Steph out?
Um, well, the line has jumped all the way to 11. And
So we missed it. Yeah, we
New
missed it.
Orleans has had some injuries too. It looks like Herb Jones. Oh, Ingram's back for New Orleans tonight. Oh, well, you know what? I was doing all of New Orleans overs before Ingram got hurt. Let me let me look at Golden State here.
Yeah, who do you
So,
think?
oh wait, Wiggins is out, Clay is out, Draymond and Steph. So I don't know where they're going to get offense from. So maybe not the over. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not against New Orleans laying all those points
What'd
though.
you say
With
is 11?
they got everybody back now.
Yeah, you said it's 11?
Yeah, I think New Orleans is a legit contender this year if they're
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah, when they're healthy, dude, they're a good basketball team for sure.
Really
All right.
good.
I like it. I like it. All right. Any final thoughts that you have, Brian?
Good luck, ladies and gentlemen, and Gold Tigers. And I'm only sang Rocky Top once in my life, but I sang it all night when y'all beat the Knowles in the national title game. I don't mind singing Rocky Top again tomorrow night. I hope it happens.
I hope it happens too. I think a lot of people do. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be live next Friday, same time, 2 p.m. Central. But until then, everybody, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets. We'll see you next week. Thanks.